Sumner. Our lonely native from Georgia with 341,000 in stack, William Watson Jr. In our 7th seat from Jacksonville, Florida with 128,000 in stack, Jason Lee. Defending the home turf, Mr. Shrug himself with 250,000 in stack, Edward Marskowski. No last but certainly not least, from Neptune Beach, Florida with 159,000 in stack, Patrick Pigford.
Behold the pig, the old powerful pig.
5,000 and 10,000 cards are in the air. You have dealers Kirk Chewy and Jacob Camacho. We're ready.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everyone.
And we are off. Welcome, everyone. This is the final table of our September Sizzler tournament. Final 8 players. And look at these athletes. These are local legends. This final table is stacked.
Yeah. This ain't gonna be nothing easy. This will not be quick or fast. I can guarantee you that. You have 8 players who have outlasted 104 entries. 104 entries, a total prize pool of $139,360. And they're battling for first prize money. First place is $39,034. That's what they're here for today, and that's what they're playing for. And I can guarantee you each one of these 8 players wants first place money, and anything less would be a loss. So starting the action is going to be Robbie W. He's going to make it 20,000 with Queen 10 off. Eddie's going to come along with King 8 of clubs. He's in the small blind, so he likes to defend. We're going to go heads up to a flop of King 7-5, 2 diamonds. So Eddie here is going to make top pair. And Robbie here with Stone Cold Air. Nine on the turn is going to complete front door hearts, but it is going to give Robbie a gutter ball. But Eddie does have the lead with a pair of kings, and Eddie's going to go ahead and bet his top pair. And he's going to take it down. Robbie W is going to go ahead and fold.
He doesn't have an ID. In my phone. He's from a foreign country. Yeah, I don't have an ID. You gotta watch this one right here. I'm telling you.
Donnie, I got a question. Are we gonna start the clock? Or you made me put my phone on.
Oh yeah, 9 o'clock. I like that.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd say something.
The timer's not going.
I just saw it.
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and get the clock started, get everybody going here. Like I said, this is the $1,500 No Limit Hold'em September Sizzler. And there are 8 remaining players in the field. They're right here in front of you. You see their faces, and they're ready to play. And they're playing it out for some big money up top. Best of luck to the 8 players, and let's keep going.
First hand? I've been at a place where they busted first hand.
Eric, what's going on, man? How you doing? I'm just here watching some final table action. It's always good to kind of mix in some tournaments to go with the cash every now and then. And as Johnny mentioned, as soon as we started the stream, you have some great players, some players that have amassed a lot of tournament earnings in their life.
Yeah, I feel like I think Eddie might have the most best bet trophies, and trailing him, I think, would be definitely, yeah, definitely got to be him, right?
It has to be him.
It has to be David. Yeah.
Hey, Nick from Ema, how you doing? I dropped in on the chat, the chat last night talking to Nick. It's good to see him in the chat. So we're going to go heads up to a flop, and a pretty good flop for Pig. Pig's going to have the gutter and the flush draw, and he's going to bet big and take it down And there is another win for Pig. The blinds are 5,000, 10,000, and well, the players are going to come in, I wouldn't say short, but you know, their big blinds are relatively small in comparison to small blind and the big blind format at this level. One of the players did let me know that yesterday there was quite a marathon for the bubble, so they had to go hand for quite some time.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was 2 levels of hand-for-hand action.
That's relatively long.
That's pretty long.
So Robbie W with the ace-5 of hearts. Trey, what's going on? There's the other half of the E-Train. Kristen, how you doing? Watching the hubby kill it. Another final table in the books. I tell you, he is, I mean, like the thing I always say is when you get tournaments of this magnitude, running well is always appreciated. But when you start to see the same players at the final table over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes not only run good, it becomes play good. And I think Eddie encompasses that term because he plays so well, and he does all the time. He's always at the top of his game. And I'm pretty sure you help him be at the top of his game, Kristen, so shouts out to you too. So Pig on the button is going to bet his 6s into the field. He does have the best hand, and I think that might do the job.
Yeah, a little curious why he didn't raise or stick it all in. He only has 16 big blinds to the start of the hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I said, the blind levels are, they don't have too many, unless your name is David, GT Jack, or you're Mr. Watson, you don't have too many. Oh, that's an early TD. Yeah, unless you're one of those 3, it's going to be really hard to maneuver this minefield. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Hope you enjoyed your cruise. GT's going to fold the 9-5. Rodney Walker said, "Let's go, David." Yeah, David is a very, very, very skilled player. You can find him on Hendon Mob. You can go look him up. The man's resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, he's got sheets and sheets and sheets of results.
Yeah, that guy is, I mean, good is an understatement.
And he just came off from a win on, I think, ACR for a couple $100,000.
He told me he final tabled, or he bagged in the 2650 on ACR. I think he called it the Venom or something like that.
Yeah, the Venom.
Yeah, that boy good. Real good. So and the players know that. So you know they're gonna try to hold him off. I mean, you coming into the final table, the overwhelming chip leader. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get around a chip leader when he's so good. Hey Felicia, how you doing? I didn't know it was you. How you doing?
Checking the 9.
I'm glad to see some fans of David and everybody else out there. So we got the battle of King High, but Pig does have the better King High. And oh boy, that's a good card for both players, but Pig is going to reap the benefits of this.
Yeah, I like this check call mode.
I don't think he'll ever be folding.
No. Pot control, they can call for 25K. As you can see, the flop turn was checked out. So definitely Pig can call here. He'll want to raise. But definitely a call is in order, and he does make the call.
And Pig is going to realize that his jack kicker does play, and he's going to scoop the pot. Pig is going to go ahead and take it down as he's rocking his treasured pig that brings him such good luck. And it just so happens that, you know, his nickname is Pig, and his last name is Pigford. It just all works.
Well, his initials is Pig. Patrick Ireland Pigford.
Wow. If I'm him, anything in my life, celebration, anything, it's going to be pig themed all the time. My favorite food, bacon, which it actually is. Sweet maple bacon is his favorite food.
Yeah. My favorite vegetable, bacon.
Dat Bowler, you're going to type in exclamation point payouts. And that's going to get you access to all of the placings and how much each one pays out. If anyone from YouTube chat or Facebook chat needs that information, just let me know. I'll copy and paste it and put it in the chat. So there's Dennis. Dennis picks up ace queen. Dennis knows it's time to go. And what I mean by that is it's time to get it in. He finds a very good hand, and you know blinds are only going to be going up and up.
No, I hate this call from Pickford. He does call off with ace 10. It's only 7 big blinds. But relative to a stack, it is a third of his chips. So it is a big decision for him. If he does call here and lose, he'll again be at a very short stack with less than 15 bigs. About 20 bigs actually. Which is kind of okay, but you don't want to linger down to like 15 and then start limping and then losing some blinds, and you're just gonna go back to like 8 big blinds again where Dennis is now. Oh, that's a great fold for
Yeah, that's a good fold. That was a good fold. That ain't bad. I guess Dennis was ready to pull his ID out. He figured he was going to get sent home. He was ready to have it out and about and ready to go.
He was until he wasn't. Really fuzzy. Tell myself that. Good fold, Kate. Good fold.
You don't know what I had.
No, not till tomorrow or whatever. 20 minutes. I'm not even gonna pay attention to that. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, baby.
Got some folds around. Oh, and GT Jack here in the small blind is going to wake up with ace jack suited. And David, using his button, using position, and his stack size, and his overall image here, is going to go ahead and open 8-5 off to 25,000. And GT says he's going to come along for the ride. David does have position here, but I'm interested to see how he's going to play this if he doesn't connect. Oh, and it just so happens both players do. GT's going to make top pair. David's going to make middle pair. That flush draw might be scary for GT, so he's going to check it over to David.
I do like this check because anything that David bets, Jack can definitely call. David does have position on him. He doesn't want to give away the strength of his hand too quickly because he knows he needs to extract maximum value from David, especially playing from his left.
I don't know if David will proceed any further, though, once he gets called here.
I mean, he could. I mean, David could put Jack on a flush draw. So I think right now Jack's feeling pretty safe. I think David could probably throw one more bet out there and try to check on the river for value.
How would you perceive that turn card, King? Like, who would that hit? Does that hit David more in his opening range on the button? Does that hit GT more?
I mean, I think it hits David more.
Oh, and how much did he bet? Did he bet pot?
That's a pretty sizable bet there.
That's 110,000. Oh my God.
Well, it gets him to fold.
That's why, but that's why I asked that question. That's why I asked, does the king hit David's raising range on the button more? Is he floating? Is he c-betting there?
Such a big bet.
That's just, I can't make any sense of that. I don't know exactly what that is. That's big brain, and I'm trying to wrap my head around that play right there, and such a large sizing.
Alright guys, this is gonna be the last hand at this level after this.
And I think GT's second in chips, so being second in chips on the final table, maybe he didn't want to step into something early. Maybe he felt like, oh boy, I have a very, very good hand. Mark Sumner, I'm assuming, is of some family relation. GT's doing just fine. GT Jack's doing okay. He's second in chips, I still believe is the case. He did just lose a few there with Ace Jack on a Jack 8-5 board, I believe. King comes on the turn, and he has to fold to a beautiful bet there from David. Yeah, that one I'm going to have to take some notes on that. I don't really know what happened there. Oh, boy. So Robbie here is going to turn his hand into a bluff, and I think JD snuffs it out. I think he knows what's happening, and I think Robbie just got caught, and JD doesn't have much chips behind. So he says, whatever, you got me, you got me, but I'm going to put my chips in here, and this is going to be for my life. He called. He called with ace. He called with 2 overs. Wow. So that was I would like to see. I didn't catch the equities there, but I think JD was way out ahead on the flop and probably even on the turn. Wow. I guess you could call that a gift. I mean, Christmas is close. I think Santa dropped that one off for JD. I think so. So JD's going to move up here in chips. Not bad at all. Got Katie Sumner in the Twitch chat saying, let's go GT. He's second in chips right now, so he's doing just fine. He's made the final table, so he's going to guarantee himself $3,356. But I think he wants that first prize money. You know what that's called? That's called 7 points, Johnny. That's a 7-piece no biscuit. The 7-piece, baby. Oh, and David wakes up with pocket kings. Really quick background here. I was dealing cards yesterday, and I had the pleasure of dealing to David in the tournament. And he went on a heater while I was there. He scooped up about 200K in chips. He picks up kings. It just so happens the same hand he has here. He picks up kings on the button. He opens. Young lady 3-bet jams on him, and he got his chips in quicker than she could. And during my down, he scooped up about 150K in chips, and he's in a dream scenario here with kings facing a raise. You have to put in this 3-bet. I think at this point, you just got to think, how much?
I think 2.5x is the right amount.
And if you're JD, you have more life, you have more chips, but you still have a decision to make. You're going to be out of position, actually. There's no doubt each of the players know how skilled David is at the game of poker, but when you're on a final table, you know, you kind of got to put that to rest mentally. You've made it, you know, you're here, you're just as skilled. It's an any given Sunday kind of thing, and it just so happens what's today? Sunday,
It's
baby.
Sunday.
Exactly. So even though David is very, very skilled, these players, I think they're ready. They're ready to tango. And JD does make the call here with sixes and finds a 6 on the flop. JD flops bottom set here, and it's so concealed. Oh, boy. So is it safe to assume he's going to get the double up? Did I put that out there in the ether too soon?
I mean, there's still 2 cards to go, but I think the chips are going to go in.
This is just an unfortunate spot. Him calling a 3-bet here with sixes. And if David can find a fold, he'll be my new hero. I want David Jackson's jersey if he can find this fold. Yeah, he can't.
No.
and he's going to show a set of sixes, show the bad news, and it's just like, ugh. But if you're David, you're like, let's get this out of the way. It's early. Oh, he picks up some outs, and it's not going to be enough. JD's set of sixes is going to be good. Our first cooler of the day brought to you by Kirk the Cooler, where we sponsor all the coolers here in the building. And he's going to go ahead and get JD here the full double up. So if you're a fan of JD, if you are rooting for him, he gets a double trays versus ace king and finds sixes in a 3-bet pot and flops a set. Let's talk about sets, baby. But like I said, if you're David, you're like, okay, it's good, breathe. We're still the chip leader. We got this out of the way early. We're playing good, and we still have chips. That's the important part. You still have chips. So, the first player out, excuse me, I actually lied to you guys. The first player out is going to be guaranteed $4,519. So I did make an error there in looking at the payouts. It will be $4,519 guaranteed to the first player out. And David doesn't seem to lose sight of the prize. He continues here with his chip leading aggression, opens the King 4 of hearts to 30,000. And it's going to get through. So let me see if here I can look up this for you guys, for those who might not know. See if we got a little player profile action going. So yeah, David Jackson has a career total live earnings of $2,704,000. The man is no stranger to tournaments. He's been doing this for a very long time. And I think a cooler like that hasn't even phased him in the slightest. I think he's still going to be ready to go. He's still going to be ready to do the thing that he's come to do. I think the thing that everyone's come to do on this table. And like I said, that's why me and Johnny let you guys know we do have some great players. GT Jack, live earnings of $200K. That's about $200,000 more than I have. All I have in terms of live earnings in my tournament career is the lint in my pocket. And I'm okay with that. And Dennis has to be okay with finding queens here so short. So I think this is a mandatory all-in. And I think when it gets back around to Eddie, which will be quick, I think he's going to have to go ahead and fold. Let's see, who else here can we look up some live earnings on? Player in question, Eddie Marskowski. Let's see what he's got going on. He's going to have his hands full all day. Eddie Marskowski, total live earnings approaching $500,000. Once again, a very accomplished tournament player. He does this. That's simply how I could put it. Lots of cashes here. I can just scroll. I'm still scrolling. This man has played plenty of tournaments. I think in the span of a month, a span of 2 months, he made 3 final tables. And there's GT Jack picking up pocket kings in the under the gun 1 position. He opens to 25, and it doesn't look like he's going to get any action. It does fold to JD. JD will have Jack 10 of hearts, and he's going to defend here. And as you can see, in terms of equity, JD is drawing super, super thin. But he does flop a Jack, so I think GT's going to get 1 street of value here from him.
cute. Better 37.
So GT's gonna bet here with 37,000. JD does make a pair. He has 453,000 behind. He might want to peel one. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do just that. Looking here for a 10 or another jack, or maybe a straight card. He doesn't find it. He finds a queen of hearts.
Check.
And a 9 on the river. He's going to give GT Jack the check mark. You might see a check and a check. And I think this might just get the showdown. Oh boy. So I was hoping to be right,
85.
but instead JD is going to take the less advised route and lead here, repping the queen. But I don't think GT Jack's ever going to be folding.
What do we got?
Yeah, I think he was trying to get GT Jack off his hand, but GT was never, ever, ever folding.
And the crowd goes wild. Insert crowd noise.
Yeah, insert the crowd noise. Right on cue, GT.
We do live every actually had a really good game. Have a look at the sound machine there.
That'd be fun. Roll 4. Roll 6.
That's right, and the crowd goes wild. GT Jack scooping a pot. Jason's been a little quiet tonight. He does have 102,000, so maybe that's because, well, you got to pick your spots pretty specifically when you're so short stacked. You know, every chip that goes into the pot is essential. Very, very essential. So Jason being short, David might elect to get it in here with him. I mean, he hasn't folded yet. So he will just make the call. And Jason here on life support needs to find a pair, and he doesn't. But I think having an open ender is good enough for David to just get it in here. So if Jason moves all in, I don't know if David's going to be folding. An irrelevant deuce on the turn. And Jason has just about a pot-sized bet left. Yeah, there it is. There it is. So I think I know, you know, Jason knows, and David knows that that deuce didn't do anything. So if you were ahead on the flop, you're probably ahead on the turn, and just so happens that Jason has absolutely nothing.
Well, David just playing the big stack at the table, so just 7 big blinds. He knows that he can push these players around, especially if they're short. They're going to make them fold a lot of hands. So David, knowing where he's at situationally and around the table, knows that he can bet there and have him fold.
They love it. You know, he loves it. I know coming into the final table, I overheard some of the players talking about it. They were like, oh, yeah, David has the chip lead. You know, player with that skill and that chip stack is going to be tough. And so they know.
It's like the ultimate end boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you get to the final level, he's waiting for you. So they're going to hope to fend him off as long as possible. Yes, the chip leader right now is going to be David Jackson. I don't have to look that up. He came in with about a 3-to-1 chip lead over the next, well, not 3-to-1. I think GT Jack had about 530. But he was the chip leader and still is. Once again, guys, the first player out will receive $4,519 for their 8th place finish. The turn is an 8 of spades. This hand, well, GT did have the open ender on the flop, excuse me. And on the river, David's going to make the best hand here with king high. GT has, well, board. Yeah, and that's good enough to take it down. The mountain of chips will only gather more, bring more into the fold. Just on a quick side note, as this stream is for poker and tournament poker, I am very excited that it is football Sunday. I hope you guys are watching, and I hope your respective teams are winning. But other than that, let's get back into the poker action. Pig's going to go ahead and fold. Dennis is going to fold. It's going to fold all the way around to David on the button. He loves using that button for his aggression, and he loves using his position. And sure enough, there's the raise coming in here. Deuce tray suited. I think he might get a call here from Robbie. GT might let it go, but I think Robbie might come in here for 24,000. And he's actually going to go, excuse me, he's going to play for a little bit more than that. He's going to go all in. And David's going to quickly surrender.
Georgia play against a bunch of Floridians. I don't stand a chance.
I'm Alabama fan, so like
Oh, I guess Bobby, or Robbie, excuse me, said it's such a joy to play against a bunch of Floridians because he is the only Georgia native on the table, so he might feel like the odds are already stacked against him. But he's holding his own. He's still in the tournament. That's what matters. He's still in the tournament. And I believe the blinds have increased. Yes, the blinds are now 6,000, 12,000. There's Jason with the all-in. There's the call. Jason's going to show ace deuce. So it's kind of even. It's almost even. There's a 5 in the window. There is indeed a 5 in the window, and that's going to solidify David's chip ascension. And Jason's going to hit the rail early. He's going to take home $4,519. I don't know whoever that is on the rail, but that 5 in the window definitely came. It was right there. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what kind of magic's going on here. That 5 came right on in the window.
And just like that, after 15 hands, we're down to 7 players left at this final table.
And I think Jason played 2 hands.
I mean, he didn't have much that he can really do, so he pretty much folded all the way down to where he had to get it in there. So
he had ace-9, and I think he called an open, or he might have opened and got called, actually.
Yeah.
But then the ace-deuce, that was a little ambitious.
Yeah, probably should have went in with the ace-9 rather than the ace-deuce.
Where was he at? Okay, so the button's on GT, so he was actually in the big blind. And, well, that's going to be it for Jason. But Jason did make the final table, and Jason outlasted, what, 90, 97 other players, 98 other players? 96 other players, so, hey, I don't think he could ever be too upset about cashing in a tournament of this magnitude. And the run good is going to continue for David. Like I said yesterday, the man ran so pure in my 30 minutes, just my 30 minutes. And it looks like he's going to continue that trend. That's what happens when you wake up, you eat your Wheaties, you get a good breakfast, and you come onto the poker room. Yeah, so how much, Nick from Yuma, how much did the boys lose last night? Each of them collective, or each of them, not collectively. And Eddie looks down at pocket sevens. He's facing an open and a call. Oh, boy. This, do you put the squeeze on here? Do you just get it in? Do you say, I don't know if you can just call, can you?
Yeah, I think you can just call here. You don't want to put the squeeze in.
And he's out of position. He has two players behind him.
Yeah.
And he has two very good players behind him.
Yeah, you can see a cheap flop to try to set mine. See on pay post. See the
Lord
ace flops
Jesus.
there. He would have
Yep.
been dead in the water in that spot if he had tried to squeeze there. So Eddie is very mindful of that, especially with David in the pot.
There's
So-
a friendly reg in the chat. Octavia. Yeah, let's go, David. It's good to see you in the chat repping for David. And as soon as you come in and say that, well, he gets ace king, he opens, and he flops top top. I think that's pretty good. And yeah, there were 104 total players in the field.
I wish I had one rooting for me. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no. So I guess Robbie's like, I wish I had someone rooting for me. Oh, boy. I'll root for you, Robbie. I'll root for you, buddy.
I can see her smiling through that match.
I guess Zara's on the rail, rooting for David. I don't know how she knew, but that 5 definitely came in the window when he needed it. So whatever she's doing, I'd continue doing it.
We all need a Zara.
Raise 24.
Exactly.
Hold 6.
Whoa, whoa, Nick, when did Ethan book such a big loss? I know when I came in, it wasn't nearly as much. So please let me know. I know you got the information. Pig looking down at ace 5. Just thinking about it. He does make the fold.
Stealing, baby, stealing.
And he is Pig, he is stealing them from way up here.
It's all good.
Bird's eye view. He is stealing them. But when you have such a massive chip stack, it's kind of hard to fight back
All right, cool.
because you might get felted
Able to maintain
and sent to the rack.
composure. I don't even think I got the right.
Raise 27.
JD's going to open to 27K here with the queen at 10. He tried to bluff boots and bones twice. He got one bluff through, but not the other one. Okay, not the other two. Yeah, you kind of don't want to do the whole bluffing thing. It's just never, it's never good. You know, when you're a vlogger and you're sitting on a table, they want your money. They're going to call you light.
Miss Piggy, we ain't doing nothing, man.
Says Miss Piggy, we ain't doing nothing.
All right, we got time.
Looks like it's on Dennis.
27, yes, sir.
Yeah, they're going to have their hands full.
All in kitty.
Good pull. Good pull. That would've been-
Piggy knows what she's doing.
Piggy, I don't even think my buddy when he bought this for me, was like, you realize there's a red bow?
So Dennis is going to put the rest of his chips in with pocket 5s, and it's going to be 93,000 more. So it's going to be about half of JD's stack here with queen 10 suited. And I don't know if he has a good enough hand to make this call.
That's those LA animals, like lizards, everything you can think of. Elephant. Down in South Florida.
Yeah, a lot of hometown heroes here tonight. Or rather today, I should say. Definitely, Shauna. How are you doing, Shauna Banana? JD's actually thinking about this. And he does make the call, which
So
I honestly thought he would have folded there.
well, 12 big blinds. Dennis is at risk. However, is ahead. Oh, not anymore.
Oh, wow, he just
not
flops the joint.
anymore.
So maybe that's what he knew. Maybe he knew that was going to happen. Yeah, he knew it. He had to have.
And just like that, we are now six-handed at this final table. Congratulations to Dennis.
He's going to go out here in 7th place, taking home $5,470. Great showing from Dennis. Dennis, thank you for joining us on the Best Bet live stream. And great run. I guess Dennis kind of told JD, hey, what took you so long to call? If you knew you were going to flop it.
Same thing, you know, but one big blind, guys, one big blind. Right over there, bro. Man, your lines keep losing heartbreak, man. What's up? You got a big line set?
Oh, well, you can't be. Oh. I'm sorry. Huh? It's supposed to be on the rail, right? Do it live. I'm just making sure I wasn't doing it while he was doing it. Yeah. Man, you get me in trouble, man. Like, I feel bad because I feel like I was a guy. Like,
no, I was trying to tell you to tell him. So he won't do it while
well, not, you know, it's all on us. It's all on us. As well as it is the dealer. Play with your pig, man. Just keep playing with that pig. Man, pig, get out of me.
All in, C6.
Good luck.
Fold 8.
You said what?
So Robbie's going to be all in with 10-9 offsuit. I don't know if there's some significance to the hand, but maybe, hey, he says the blinds are going up. I need a hand to go all in with, and I think I like this one. Ooh, someone snorted. Ooh, we have actual ocular proof of that. They might want to relax.
A good snort's okay, I think.
Every
like
now
it
and
makes
then.
it funnier. Yeah, it's
Every
okay.
now and then.
It used to be embarrassing. No, nowadays it's like, yeah, humorous. Like it. I throw a little snort in here and there.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. GT H5 probably won't play. Not in a position.
No one really has much of anything. It's gonna. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me. Hey, JD with pocket kings.
I would just
Blind
call.
versus blind.
I would just call.
Oh yeah, I like this.
I would just call.
Definitely a call. Blinds versus blind. You want to get some value with your pocket kings. You don't want to run off any action.
He outflops me. He outflops me. But I think I just want to call.
Calling here would be very deceptive.
Ooh, it's 12K to play, and I think he is just gonna call.
Yeah. Yeah, too much for David. I think 10-4 off.
Oh, no, he raised.
Yeah, he raised it up. Raised it big, too. Yeah. Blind versus blind, you're never going to expect a player to have kings in that spot. So I could have got a little bit more action, a little more value from David. I think raising in that spot there was overplaying it just quite a bit.
Yeah.
Your hand is hidden. You can play post.
Yeah, you don't.
know.
And if anything, you can induce a raise from him.
Yeah.
And then if he does raise, you just call and.
And David's such an aggressive player. You think that with enough checks, David would try to lead out with something.
Something.
And then when you do, he's jamming his face.
Did you hear that?
I did.
No, he said do a microphone check. That was my microphone check.
No, we are. I didn't say it.
15 to go, guys.
Okay.
Probably.
No. I haven't lost any half day in the Jaguar game. And for a better day.
It's kind of funny.
And that last one we
Pickford said he went to the Jags game and left at halftime to complete his tournament.
He missed out on a lot of disappointment for the Jaguars, which seems to be a trend. I don't want to talk too bad about them, but they had an opportunity to, well, they had the lead at one point, and they gave it up. So there's really not too much to talk about there. Another loss in the books.
They're a blind versus blind situation. David going to opt to go ahead and raise it up with a very, very marginal hand. I don't think Jack can call here.
When you have a chip stack like that, you got to be aggressive.
Oh,
The only thing is, I think GT is much aware of not how close they are in chips, but rather like how it's kind of him and David in terms of chips.
Yeah.
You don't want the two big stacks to be battling here so early on the final table. Not to mention, you got 9-4 off. I don't think you can really be doing too much with that.
So serious, Sydney, man. He's just like, he's all business.
Yeah, you're not going to get any information out of him. That man has almost close to $2.2 million in live earnings. You look at him, you try to get a read off him, it's just not going to happen.
You know, this is the kitchen table. Gotta have fun, man. Gotta have some fun.
I'm having fun.
So I appreciate it, but you got too much out of it.
He's having more fun than any of us.
Internally, he
Check the pots one. He's having like 70% more fun than ours.
can't smile.
He's smiling about it.
Can't see my smile on the
That's
mask.
what I'm saying. You can't see it on the
He
map.
smiled
15 to go,
yesterday. He
guys.
smiled today. He's always smiling. What's he got to not smile about?
Well, JD here with pocket sevens, and look at David right next to him with ace king on the button.
David's running a hot tonight. This is like fourth ace king, I think.
Like I said, this is what happens when you wake up in the morning and eat your Wheaties, man. When you eat your Wheaties, you have a balanced breakfast.
No discount.
Got me another 5,000.
I think David's going to make it pretty big here. About a 4x. Put him to the test. Does have a jack behind. Inconsequential, though. He's got position. He's got ace king. He's got the stack. Boom. 130,000.
What?
Boom.
How the hell you know that?
It's standard.
I mean, down to the sizing exactly.
Standard sizing, in my opinion. So, I've been in the spot before, so I think these kind of patterns you do recognize them once you see them a lot.
I mean, it's 130K to play. JD, I hope you know that. It's 100,000 more to play.
So he's gonna be put to the test. It's gonna be for all of his chips. He can't just call off. You either have to fold or stuff it in his face. And it'd be a flip, JD's actually a little bit ahead with 55%.
I mean, he called it all in with Queen 10. Take for granted it was like 12
Yeah.
bigs.
Calling here is definitely probably not the best approach.
But this is such a big 3-bet. I mean,
half the deck pretty much hurts your hand. So I think in this spot you just kind of want to just see if David will call off with ace king here. But he could be fearful of a higher pair, so then he's gonna fold.
ooh,
Yeah.
how you feel about that laydown?
It's a good laydown.
All right.
Pick a better spot. If you're a little bit shorter, then yes, you'd probably be stuffing it all in there. But he's got 433,000. He can still fight.
Spectators for 1,500. No one likes anyone at this table.
Did you text your posse?
No friends.
I've got no. It'll be 15K to you twice.
Everyone I know has children. I tried to get people to come out, they all wanted money. That's like, forget about it.
Still at the Jaguar game.
Yeah, I guess Pig's talking about the Jaguar disappointment game that he went to. He wasted some time at today. It's unfortunate, you know. But hey, he's playing for $40,000. I don't think he'll be too worried about the Jags.
All right, GT Jack is going to pick up Ace Jack on the button. I feel like David might want to throw a little move here. I don't know. Maybe it's just a time tell. Yep. David just making sure that all of his actions have the correct timing. He's not trying to insta-muck. He's not trying to insta-bet.
Yeah, that's David Jackson. You can find him on Hidden Mob. I think he has about 2.2 in earnings. He has a very long laundry list of tournament wins and tournament catches, so you guys can look him up. Once again, a table of very accomplished players all around, not just David, all around the world. They're very, very good.
Eddie getting kind of short here at the 156K.
And he did show Ace Jack. I think there is a level of mental mind games to showing down your premium hands or showing down your bluffs. I think that's the first shown hand we've seen outside of Showdown. So I think GT's letting the people know, hey, man, I'm playing good cards. I'm not opening with trash. I'm not opening with garbage.
A little steep. For a small blind.
We got JD going to pick up a couple hooks.
What blinds are 15? What, 10 and 15?
Yes, 10 and 15K. He's going to put a sizable raise here.
That's what? That's two bumblebees. That's 50 something.
He's going for 54, 50.
That's
yeah,
big.
54K, 55K.
It's almost 4x.
Well, you
about
kind of
3
need to
points.
size a little up with pocket jacks there. You don't want to let too many hands in. Looks like he'll pick up some blinds. All players now guaranteed $6,908. The next spot up.
Not a bad not two, like, for playing I would say even 1.5. Playing 1.5 days of poker is not too bad of a payout. Like, that's a pretty good day's work.
Everybody at this final table played about 12 hours yesterday to get down to the final 8 players. And now I think we'll play the final table. We'll clock at about 5 hours. Maybe less if Eddie and David and Jack are in there, because they'll be with the most aggressive, less passive players.
So you're saying at least 27K. Did he size up too much there, guys? Did he make it too big? Blind. Now keep in mind the blinds are 10 and 15. So if he wants to raise, it's going to be a minimum of 30.
Raise to 36,000.
It's a good sizing. I like the 55K. You want to get those ace rags out.
Oh, and that's pass interference. Oh, boy.
Try it till you find it.
Yeah, I think 35,000 is good. I mean, I think it's a player preference kind of thing, but I think more or less consistency is also important.
No, wherever.
Yes, sir.
Ten out of 10.
All 4, old 6.
that's a juicy hand, and Eddie has to lay it down. He's getting very short now. About 12.5 bigs. Doesn't want to get involved. He wants a hand that he can actually ship it all in with, and he doesn't want to do that with Queen Jack of Hearts. Now David can defend here, reduce 4 hearts. So he doesn't raise in the check. Jack versus David. And look at that set of 8s for Jack. Gonna play it slow. Heart draw now for David. Jack wants David to catch up here.
He's praying for a heart.
I think Jack can just float here. Doesn't have to raise. He wants him to catch up. No reason to raise here.
Oh, and he's going to give him another look. GT, using those acting chops that he has, he did debut a few high school plays in his time. And
oh, look at that. And
I
David
tell you,
hits
see that?
the money card, which David doesn't know. 8's full. I think David could go and check combo.
Are we going to see some chips move around here?
David could bet small here and then fold. He can also check and call a medium-sized bet.
What is the best line here?
Well, he
If
doesn't
you're-
have a very strong flush.
That's
and
what I'm
there's a-
saying,
and there's
so-
a paired board. So
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he ever checks, but I don't know if he'll go too big. We'll have to wait and find out. We'll see what David does.
I think David bets small here. He needs to find information. So 225K in the pot currently. Oh no, he's sizing
going
pretty big.
big.
He's gonna put up a pot-sized bet.
Oh
Wow.
Lord,
Say
Jesus!
bye-bye those chips.
That's those. All of his bumblebees are gone,
So pot-sized bet from David,
and I think the all-in is gonna get. I mean, I don't know if David actually might snap fold. Yeah, he's gonna.
well,
snap fold.
look what Jack's behind with. He's only 300K left to call.
He's gonna snap fold.
So 300K. This is gonna be for half of his stack here. I think a bit of a misstep for David. So
Oh,
I think David
God.
can get away from this hand here. If he
Oh,
folds here,
Jesus.
if he calls here, he won't be crippled, but I mean, he's still got 671K back. So that's still a very, very good stack to play with. I think calling off here with a paired board, not a very strong flush. I think David is good enough to not call off here.
Currently in for 255.
I would have loved David to bet smaller in that pot, but I think that gives him all the information he needs. I don't think David's going to put him on a bluff. And he folds.
I knew he was gonna get away from it. I think he's like, so later, 100% he's gonna go back and look at that hand. Probably not even later. Whenever they have a break, he's gonna go back and look at that hand.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna realize, well, okay, I made the right fold. I think he knows he made the right fold in the moment. He's gonna need that positive affirmation in going back and looking at that hand.
And just like that, I think we have a new chip leader. GT Jack takes the chip lead. Let's see some stats.
Ready? Aim. Fire.
Boom. GT Jack now 38% of the chips in play. Stack at almost 1 million chips. David still second, 671. Eddie's getting short with 9 big blinds left.
So Eddie's gonna want to make a move here. He's gonna want to do something.
Or he can ladder up. I mean, 9 big blinds. He can still fold. He needs to pick up a premium hand to kind of stick it on with it. He doesn't ever want to limp. PIG, I know he is a little short too. King, queen suited. Yeah, I think Pick has like 11 big blinds.
It might be time.
I think he can go all in here.
It might be time.
Again, with the rest of players who have less than 15 big blinds, they all want to ladder up too. So Pick could find a fold here. Or I wouldn't like it, but
you got to throw that in. I wouldn't necessarily like it either.
I think pretty much stop and go method. He's gonna put pretty much a half of a stack in, raise to 55K, which is a third of a stack. I think. Oh, it gets JD to fold ace 10. David, pocket deuces, I think, should be finding a call here. I mean, he could let it go too. It's a total of a little less than 200K, which would be a quarter of a stack. A third of a stack, excuse me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he? See what he's contemplating here. Well, after taking that massive blow to his stack, he lost about 300K in that hand.
He does. I think he wants to continue. I think he has to raise over the top because I don't think he wants GG Jack to get priced in. But he does gonna like to fold instead, and I think Jack will fold as well. But he does have a stack to call off. To see to find a flop to outflop Pickford here. Although I do like 10-8. Not so much in the final table of the tournament, but I do like 10-8.
Yep, he's got to fold it. And we are actually going to be running this same style tournament again. And we're going to be running it next month, October 24th, the $1,500 No Limit Hold'em Fall Frenzy. So if you played this one, if you maybe got eliminated in a placing that you didn't feel fully described your game, you felt like you played better, you could have ended it in a better place, you're going to have another opportunity. It's going to be October 24th. It's going to be a 2-day format just like this one. And get ready. We're going to have another GoPo, Greater Orange Park Open, October 16th. Eddie has aces, American Airlines Arena, the best hand ever created in poker. And that absolutely warrants a raise.
Yeah, again, using the stop and go. Sizing a little small this time. He does want to get some action. He doesn't want to blow through a nice pair of aces and have everyone fold. So I think he definitely put a bit of a bet here. Try to get some players to limp and then stuff it on the flop.
And he made it pretty small. I mean, with this chip stack, I think he might get GT in there with him. Oh, no, he makes the lay down. Can't show that one, Eddie. Cannot show that one. You got to keep him guessing.
It's a little heartbreaking, too, that pocket ace and size small and still not get a call.
And you be so short. I think he actually has the shortest stack at the table.
All right, Jack on the button with Jack 4. He's going to try to steal some blinds. He's going to raise it up.
Oh, you can eat from the 6.
Robbie, who is short, is going to ship his last 144K. And then Eddie finds himself in a very odd spot. You got a raise and an all-in. You got ace-10 of hearts. He's not feeling pretty good about it, I'm sure. There's so many hands here that can't beat you, especially with this much amount of action behind.
Oh boy. Eddie's like, huh, you know when you're just uncomfortable, when you keep taking inventory, you're like, oh boy.
And also understand that Robbie, like Eddie can ladder up here if Robbie does decide to, if Jack does decide to call behind here. So This could be a $2,200 ladder up, and then
He
maybe
folded?
does find the fold,
Oh my
and
God.
Jack is going to fold, and Robbie's going to pick up a pretty decent pot.
You're all in. I call. I was like, what? You just jumped way up the pay ladder, man.
You said jump, and I did, man. Damn, there's rocks down there.
King Jack suited for GT Jack. David opens with the 8-6 off. He's going to keep up with his aggression. Doesn't have the same chip lead that he did, but the aggression stays in the same place. And looks like GT has some chips now. Look at him. Get some chips and don't know how to act. He's going to 3-bet it on up to 100 and let's see how much. 130,000. GT picking up some chips and don't know how to act. He's like, all right, well, let me go ahead and 3-bet this thing on up here. And GT now has some chips. Well, the roles are reversed. And what I mean by that is, well, David can still continue to be aggressive. You know, he still has more chips than everyone at the table. But GT is now in a position where he's like, oh, well, these hands that, you know, it's either a all-in or fold. Now I have enough chips where I can comfortably 3-bet, take it post-flop, but more or less fight back to that aggression. And I think David's going to understand that. He's going to take into account that he has GT on his left. So he might not be opening as frequently as he did when he did have the chip lead.
How are you? How are you? Old enough? I'm old. Nah. You probably only 10 years older than me. I'm not because we're being recorded. I don't want the females to know that are like pursuing me.
37.
How old I am. So. Let's just say age is just a number. So all you ladies out there, don't come after me because I ain't worth it. I'm nothing but trouble. I'm nothing but trouble. Trouble? Nothing but trouble. 19.
All right, so we're going to go and shuffle up and get it into the next hand. As he should, the chip leader should be pressuring the table with all those 10 big blind stacks in play. Absolutely. And just as sure as you know that, and I know that, he knows that. So we might see GT opening a lot more and 3-betting a lot more in spots to put maximum pressure on the shorter stacks, because there are a few out there.
15 to go. Fold 4.
Keep her company. Y'all can talk about Frank or me or.
Raised to 55 from the 9.
Or me.
55,000.
You will. Or me.
Oh, man. Look at Pig here with King Queen off. that point, any flop he likes, all those chips are going right on in. And I think that's going to be the general move from the other half of the table. JD has lost some chips, but from Eddie and Pig, it's just going to be raise. You get called, you find a flop you like, it's all in. I'm all in. Dealer, please hand me the red card if you don't mind.
Oh, no. That ain't gonna happen yet now. Come on now. I just think the pig eats. I was waiting for that. And then to the pig, we all the way home. Sixth place, good money. I was waiting for that.
Fold 6, fold 8. Raise to 60,000 from the 9.
And right after picking up King Queen, Pig's going to pick up Ace King offsuit, make it 60. I think he might scoop up the blinds again. GT's going to try to get a little information out of him, but I don't think that's going to work. If anything Pig tells you is going to show you how strong he is. Gonna go ahead and fold. Which I don't know what took so long, but I guess he was trying to figure out exactly where he was at.
I might as well keep the arm. I can't do it. They're gonna color him up after this. Might as well just use the courier.
Is it up?
No.
I'm just saying, you might.
We still got 2 minutes.
Just saying,
Game's over, we're all getting money.
not put him into play.
I was gonna get money. I got money.
I am
getting money regardless.
Damn, game's over, we all getting paid.
Yeah. Some's gonna get more than others. 15 to go.
I'm just happy what I get.
Fold 8.
I'm not greedy.
Back-to-back premiums. Pig now Ace Queen.
He had Ace. He had King Queen.
Fold 9.
I don't like the call here. Why would you just call on the spot?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Fold 3.
Oh boy. I mean, I don't know if I would be hoping. I don't know if he would be hoping that maybe GT or Robbie raised, but I don't think you should wait for something like that. I think you need to go ahead and get your chips in the middle. There's no sense in even waiting on it. Yeah, so now you're gonna get them. You're gonna get the players to.
Pump fake. Let me look again. Let me look again. Make sure that web paired up. It didn't match.
The camera's on him. The camera's on him right now. The camera's on him right now.
Alright, I got the Raven.
Was that 8-8 or 8-6?
And Pig finds the ace he wants, but doesn't find himself holding the ace of clubs that's on the board, which I'm pretty sure he wished he had. Had the roles been reversed, rather he had the ace of clubs and there's another club on the board to go with the king and the 5. But with all that being said, he doesn't care. He's going to go ahead and bet 100, might be more than 100. 100 and 125 into 60. And GT's already folded. He's already gone. Yeah, I think a jam there is appropriate all the time. But either way, he gets what he wants. I think next time, though, I don't think he's going to take that route.
I was wondering what that was. Yeah, I thought we had another hand. Alright guys, if you guys have orange, please push it.
As he hits his trademark line, little pig, little pig, little pig, let me in. Name that show. So they're going to take a quick break. We're going to step away for a little while. We'll be right back as soon as the cards shuffle up and they're back in the air.
land. Wait on a sign above, and I am ready, ready. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game.
Best Bet Live, Hand of the Week.
Hey, what's up, guys? Dustin Shocklock here for Best Bet Live, Hand of the Week. This week, I'm joined in the booth by my good friend, John O'Neill. John O'Neill, a true high-stakes cash game pro. John was in the mix for this hand. This was a recent 5-10 no-limit deep stack cash game that actually ended up playing really big. And as you can see, John was in the mix right there in the 7th seat. And this is a pretty crazy river spot, and John's going to walk us through the hand and tell us what your thoughts are on the way that this hand plays out and what you think about it.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is John O. I was in this 5-10-25 game, and I'm going to take you through one of the hands that happened. In this hand, it was a restraddle to 50 and a restraddle after that to 100. I don't think Sean realizes that it was a restraddle to 100 because he only made it 200 on the button with pocket fives here. George makes a call with king queen, and Jarrett picks up pocket eights. He's going to make the call. And Russ has 9-7. It's only $100 for him to call. He's going to make the call. Everyone pretty much whiffs the flop here. Ace 10-4, 2 clubs. It goes check round, and Sean just spikes a 5 on the turn. It does bring a club out there. George leads 500 on the turn. It folds around to Sean. He makes the call here. At this point, George is on tilt. Sean knows that. The river's a deuce, though, puts a one-liner on the board. George just mashes 8,000 on the river. Right now, it puts Sean in a real messed up spot. He was hoping the board paired. It didn't. He's either going to have to hero call or fold here. And right now, if we could pause this, he's showing his hand pocket fives right before he folds. At this point, George just lost a 50K pot. And when this happens, George always just plays like what I like to call animal poker. He just starts piling. He just starts piling like money in it. He just is like on mega tilt at this point. At this point, you pretty much got to call if you're Sean, because I don't think George would ever try to value him with 8,000 on the river just because Sean is on the tighter side. If it was me, George knows like I will hero call him, so it could be more value against me. But against Sean, I don't think it's ever a value hand. As soon as he folded, I told him that he probably should have called here. But it is a very hard call to make, and George tried to tell us that he did have it, but obviously looking in now, we could tell that he did not have it. And when George is on tilt, you just got to hold on and make those calls sometimes.
Wow, what a sick river spot. Just a casual 8K mash into 1,800. George gets the fold. George gets all the chips. Sean folds the best hand. I want to give a shout out to my friend John O'Neill. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll be back soon with more Hand of the Week.
Best Bet live stream. Watch us play. Best Bet Live, Hand of the Week.
Hey, what's up, guys? Dustin Shocklock here for Best Bet Live, Hand of the Week. This week, I'm joined in the booth by my good friend John O'Neill. John O'Neill, a true high-stakes cash game pro. John was in the mix for this hand. This was a recent 5-10 no-limit deep stack cash game that actually ended up playing really big. And as you can see, John was in the mix right there in the 7th seat. And this is a pretty crazy river spot, and John's going to walk us through the hand And tell us what your thoughts are on the way that this hand plays out and what you think about it.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is John O. I was in this 5-10-25 game, and I'm going to take you through one of the hands that happened. In this hand, it was a restraddle to 50 and a restraddle after that to 100. I don't think Sean realizes that it was a restraddle to 100 because he only made it 200 on the button with pocket fives here. George makes a call with king queen, and Jarrett picks up pocket eights. He's going to make the call. And Russ has 9-7. It's only $100 for him to call. He's going to make the call. Everyone pretty much whiffs the flop here. Ace 10-4, 2 clubs. It goes check round, and Sean just spikes a 5 on the turn. It does bring a club out there. George leads 500 on the turn. It folds around to Sean. He makes the call here. At this point, George is on tilt. Sean knows that. The river's a deuce, though, puts a one-liner on the board. George just mashes 8,000 on the river. Right now, it puts Sean in a real messed up spot. He was hoping the board paired. It didn't. He's either going to have to hero call or fold here. And right now, if we could pause this, he's showing his hand pocket fives right before he folds. At this point, George just lost a 50K pot. And when this happens, George always just plays like what I like to call animal poker. He just starts piling. He just starts piling like money in it. He just is like on mega tilt at this point. At this point, you pretty much got to call if you're Sean, because I don't think George would ever try to value him with 8,000 on the river just because Sean is on the tighter side. If it was me, George knows like I will hero call him, so it could be more value against me. But against Sean, I don't think it's ever a value hand. As soon as he folded, I told him that he probably should have called here. But it is a very hard call to make, and George tried to tell us that he did have it, but obviously looking in now, we could tell that he did not have it. And when George is on tilt, you just got to hold on and make those calls sometimes.
Wow, what a sick river spot. Just a casual 8K mash into 1,800. George gets the fold. George gets all the chips. Sean folds the best hand. I want to give a shout out to my friend John O'Neill. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll be back soon with more Hand of the Week.
Best Bet live stream. Watch us play.
Okay, guys, we're back. They took a nice little 15-minute break. Hopefully you guys did too. Went and got you some food, took a bathroom break, got yourselves realigned, ready to watch some tournament action. As you can see on your screen in front of you, coming back from the break, GT Jack will be our chip leader, and David will be second in chip. So it's almost like the roles got reversed between the two players. And then the rest of the field, JD, 393, Pig, 309, Robbie with 12 bigs, and Eddie with the same amount. So
blinds will be 10,000, 20,000 coming back from break.
ooh, which means those blinds actually aren't even right.
Yeah.
That was at 10-15.
Each player is now guaranteed $6,908.
Which means they're not doing too bad. Like I said, that's a nice little cash payout. You know, you can do your best, enjoy yourself.
And there it is after 35 hands of play, 6 players left. Blinds are getting pretty high now.
$60,000 from JD with King 10 of diamonds. David's going to go ahead and fold. Looks like they colored up also the chips, so now just grays and bumblebees are going to be in play. The grays are worth 5,000. Those are the gray-looking chips. The bumblebees that are black and yellow, hence bumblebees, are worth 25,000. And with that being said, Robbie is going to remove all his chips in the middle with Queen Jack off. See if JD wants to give him a call.
It's going to be half of his chips. He's already got 60K in. That's why I really don't like raising here King 10 of diamonds with so many players behind. I don't think he can really call here. If he does call off, it will pretty much cripple him. He'll have maybe 8 or 9 big blinds left, which is not a lot. You kind of want to preserve your stack for a better situation.
I completely agree with you. Which is like you said, it all starts in the beginning. And the beginning is that you open King 10 of diamonds. That's where it begins. And that's hopefully where it ends.
But he is ahead and is suited. He can make a call here and make it 5-handed. But he is going to elect to fold.
He's going to get out of there.
Yeah, King 10, King Jack, Queen Jack suited in those hands. Unless you have a stack, you don't really want to play around with those kind of hands, especially if you have less than 20 big blinds. You're just pretty much bleeding your stack trying to play these kind of hands.
You definitely don't want to.
Now if it's blind versus blind, now if you're on the button, less players behind you, you can kind of make those kind of moves. Make it 1.5x.
Definitely, definitely. Looks like we got a resident player here and dealer. Tim Gower, what's going on, man? You see your boy Eddie Marskowski on the final table, sweating it out, trying to bring home the glory, bring home the gold. First place prize, I should say, is $39,034. That's what the 6 of these players are playing for. So
Jack out of cutoffs and then make a min click to 40,000. Oh, Eddie right behind with ace king.
Oin, oin. Immediately, I get my chips in the middle, push them. I give it a little, like, I posture a little bit, and then I'm just like, all right, give me the red card, dealer, right now. It's going to be really tough for Pig. I mean, but I think he can get out of here. You got a raise and an all-in front of you.
He's definitely going to get it in. Just notice how seasoned players, they pretty much every action, they take their time. They want to make sure that there's no timing tells, so he didn't insta ship. He took a little bit of time.
Pig's just going to hate the situation. You know, being so, being 6-handed, finding a premium hand is tough, and he's going to have to lay it down.
So only 150K more to call. I think Jack could make this call here. It's not all that detrimental to a stack, but he can also fold. He doesn't have that much invested. Yeah, see, 110 more left. That's I think it's okay to call off here. All right, money's in.
He didn't even like the call.
Yeah.
Like he just knew. He's like, oh, it's not much more, and I have this much, and you have this much, so I guess I got to call.
So Eddie is in the lead.
Oh,
and he's just
in
gonna
the lead.
go ahead and flop.
In the lead. That man was dead.
Dream hand.
As if pre-flop, Eddie didn't feel good. The flop definitely let him know that he was going to indeed get that double up. He had nothing to sweat. And he's going to be in the game. Like Kristen said, let's see if we can catch that heater.
Full double up for Eddie.
Listen, if it was Jacob dealing, you might have to worry about it.
Jacob warned me about himself already. He apologized in advance.
People know it's farming, to be fair.
Yeah.
Eddie's going to pick up some chips and look to, well, put them in the middle. Maybe not be the best holding to get him in with, but he is going to raise it up.
Eddie's eating chips too.
Holding on to the bonds.
I'm a chip consumer.
Chip connoisseur.
Yeah, Kevin, he is. He's definitely taking some, he's taking his lumps. That freshman year is not looking the best for him. But I don't think it's really, if you're like a realistic person, it's not anything to really be too alarmed about. You know, you can't expect 2 changes at 2 positions to immediately lead to wins. But I think he'll continue to get better, and I think, like I said, if you're a realistic person, I think they'll make some changes and get better. Seven, 7, 4, 2 clubs for JD, so he will flop the nut flush draw. Only thing is that board is paired. Paired boards, always scary. And with a bet there, JD's going to take it down. Let's keep going. PSR, that makes 2 of us, man. That makes 2 of us. I'm sitting here watching it just like you are, and I just don't understand. I'm like, at some point, hopefully they'll just get it in, but I guess we'll have to wait and see, man. Robbie W is going to be all in. 9-5 offsuit. Oh, and JD's on the button with ace jack.
285 total. 285.
So very close. In my brain, mathematically, one close enough.
You Georgia Tech guys are pretty damn smart.
Suited eights, wanted to call.
That's the main tech.
Fold 8, fold 9. Fold 2.
Oh, ace, queen. Uh-oh. We might see an all-in situation here. I don't think there's any other way to avoid it. I think chips are going to go in the middle. I don't think GT can fold this one.
Nice, 50,000. All in. 3 raise, all you can eat, and a call. Alright, chum up, guys.
There's the queen. Oh, boy. And Robbie's going to need a jack, and that's not it. Robbie's going to be eliminated in 6th place. He's going to take home what looks like $9,088. Or maybe, hold on. Let's see if I got that wrong. I think I did. 6th place is going to take home $6,908.
I grew up in Georgia, man. I moved down here. I lived my
We got a
whole
Georgia
life
Tech
up there.
man here. We got pigs on the table. We gotta love it. We gotta love it.
Famous Georgia man, really.
You good, Jacob?
He said he was the only Georgia guy. I was like, from Georgia.
Okay, definitely. Grew up in Stone Mountain and Marietta.
That's pretty Stone Mountain, man. That's stomping ground right there. I've actually climbed up it like a few times.
JD here with ace king. I know, Guns, what's wrong with me? I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Raise it up. 60.
60K from JD with ace king. Oh, and Eddie with a hand of the same variety, just one different suit.
All you can eat. And a ball. Show me, guys, what do we got?
Take it back here.
I wouldn't be so quick to say take it back.
Eddie's only got one flush
I would
draw.
not
You
be
got
so
two.
quick to say take it back. I think we've all seen situations, ace king versus ace king, and there's no sweat here. There's no sweat here, but
Got close, though.
it got close. As he said, it did get close to a sweat.
When he called that quick, I was like, oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious. Snap, man. Hope it's ace king. Yeah, right. I'm old, but I'm too old to have a heart attack over here. Right? Don't do that.
Everyone loves a chop pot. We all do. We all do love chop pots. We do. We all have seen the opposite end of that too, you know, where, oh, ace king versus ace king. You're like, all right, you know, in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get some chips back. I'm gonna chop up whatever was in the small blind. Like, this will be cool. And the next thing you know, there's 4 to a flush on the board, and you don't have that suit. And you're like, what the hell just happened? You know, it's always sucks. So we love a chop pot. We do. We all love a chop pot.
Raise 55.
Pig here is in the big blind, already has so much of his chips committed, and he's going to fold an ace.
Logic is that?
And he said, what kind of pig logic is that? And I have to agree. Ace 8, I understand that Eddie has not played many hands, and then he showed down ace king, and hands that are premium, but being short there, I think there's only one move to make. I know, say what? I couldn't believe it either. I could not believe it either. Like an ace there, and then you show him the ace? What are we doing out here? Huh? How short are we? How many big blinds do we have? Maybe that's some big brain play that I don't get. You know, I'm a fish. Self-proclaimed, I always say it. You know, because people are like, Adonis, you're too critical of people. Hey, you don't even really know what's going on. So maybe that's what's happening here. Maybe I don't know what's going on.
Alright, brother. Hey, man. I had nothing but good times with you, man. Safe traveling back to Georgia. He's like, that's my
510. PSR. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Oh, and JD with ace queen in the small blind. Hopefully this ace finds its way, well, in front of the player and chips in the middle rather than the other way around.
DC's got all the bone beers. I thought you was a yellow jacket, not a bone beer.
He's like, we got a chance to chip
Yellow
on that.
jacket through and through, sir.
Thank goodness he's not a murder hornet.
Trying to get Arlie to call these freaking yellow jackets, not bumblebees. I mean, who's ever heard of, I'm scared of a swarm of bumblebees. No, they just get in your hair and you freak out. They're not gonna sting you or nothing. Like, you just like, I never forget when one landed in my hair. I flipped it. I flipped out. The bone, they don't sting. The carpenter bees, they just tear up your house.
Sir, can you see if cocktails will come back up? Yeah. No rush.
Oh no, there's the rush. We're down, we're getting
Tanya.
low.
Tanya, I agree. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Trying to order some bacon, is that what you said? Okay, alright, I got you.
I didn't know if you caught that or not.
I'm like,
No, you should have
ordered
some. Everyone, bacon to everyone except him. Bacon, yeah. Now midnight.
Oh, and GT's going to call with the wheel draw. Oh, and David is going to turn, well, the best hand. And I think David is perceived to think he has the best hand. But he does have to tread lightly. GT would do that with a king, so David does just check. And GT could check back here and see if he could hit his gutter, or rather his wheel draw. So we got a rather sizable pot brewing, and GT Jack has 5 high. And I think if there's anyone to snuff out a bluff here, it's gonna be David. Oh my freaking God. GT moves all in here with 5 high. Talk about balls of steel. Talk about cajones. Talk about stones. And right now, GT Jack is repping a king, sets, something that beats a jack. And let's see if David can make the call here. That's the play. That's the play to make. And, oh, David just tried to get a little tell off of him. Oh, the little finesse move. Grab the chick like I'm going to make a call and see if I get a reaction. And I think he was fishing for some information, and GT Jack gave him none. Oh, this is a tough spot to be in if you're David. Oh, boy. But what is – so chat, this is interesting. And I always like the feedback from you guys because you guys are like, whatever. What hands is GT Jack repping? What hands does he have here where he's shoving? Now, think about the pre-flop and flop action. A bet of 20 from David, call from GT. Check, GT leads for 125 on the turn. David checks, and GT snap rips it in. PCR, that's the reason why I'm asking, is because I can't put together a hand that GT has here where you're taking such a polarized sizing of all in. Like, what do you have to pair? The flop went David led for 20, GT Jack called 20,000. The turn went David check, GT bet 125, David calls. That's the only thing I could think. He has some kind of weird two pair. And because you guys are watching the stream, just like me, he had 5 high. Hit 5 high. Off of that merit alone, GT, man, I mean, that's, oh boy. that's the only move you can make there to take the pot down. I think if he bets anything less, literally a chip less, I think David calls. Yeah, no reason to think he has a king. But like I said, there was no pre-flop action. I think he just went call, and then I think he checked his option. I think that was more so like it looked like a perceived two-pair. Yeah, more like two-pair. That's what I was thinking too. Oh, boy. David's going to want that one back when he sees it. I think that one is like the determining factor for his tournament life, You can make that call there because it was a rather large pot. Oh, God. Look at this. Look at this, guys. You got ace-jack for David on the button. Pig opens with ace-king, and GT has ace-king in the small blind. This is a snap for GT. Well, okay, maybe not a snap call because you do have players behind. I think he might just reship it. Was that a call? Okay, he just called. And now Pig is just like, whoa. Whoa, man, what's going on? If Pig can find this laydown, I mean, I don't know if that's even right. Like, I think results-oriented, I think he realizes, okay, like, that's a good fold, but is that move right? Should Pig have gotten his chips in? And he knows, so even in showdown here, David's talking or thinking out loud about the hand that he played, the hand before with GT. And GT knows how big that is. GT has the chip lead by a mountain now. So David Jackson's going to be eliminated here. We got 4 players left, so he's going to take home 5th place money, and he's going to take home $9,088. So for a 5th place finish, David's going home with $9,088. Obviously not what he wanted, but once again, $9,000 is not a bad payday, and that will add to his already $2 million in live earnings. Fold for the pay jump? Okay, fold for the pay jump. You got to fold for the pay jump.
Let's see, what does the book say? Book says full.
He can't read the book at the table.
He cannot read the book at the table. He cannot read the book at the table.
That's how bad it was. It was a full.
So we got 10-8 versus ace-10. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow.
Nice playing with you, Piggy.
This little piggy went
Go wee all the way home with 12.4K.
Yep, that's exactly correct. GT just informed all of you and me that pig is going to be eliminated in 4th place. That little piggy is going to take home 12.4K. So the little piggy can go wee all the way home because he's $12,000 richer. So, hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Nice showing there from Pig. Thank you for playing in the Best Bet live stream, and wonderful finish, my friend.
Pause the clock. They want to discuss it. Oh, you guys want to discuss the chop?
Just if you can run
Run the numbers.
So I guess we're going to go ahead and pause the clock here and see exactly what they're going to do. While we do that, let's take a look at chip stacks. I think we got 3 players remaining. Let's see what they're looking like. So you got GT Jack with 64%. That's over half for all you math people out there. 64% of the chips in play. He has 1.6 million in chips. Eddie with 585, and then JD with 360. His ace-queen fold made him about $5,000. That's correct. So, Chewy, you have a massive, massive point, is that you fold for the pay jump. I appreciate that comment, me, myself, because, you know, I didn't realize it in the moment. That fold did make him, that fold netted him $5,000. Terry says, what happened to David? Well, let me see if I can recap this for you as best I can. He played a hand with GT Jack, Queen Jack on the button David had. And for anyone who obviously has been watching, please jump in whenever you want to. I think GT Jack had 5 tray. He flopped the wheel draw. David turned a pair of jacks. And to make a long story short, GT turned his hand into a bluff on the river and shoved for about 865. David thought about it for 35, 45 seconds and had to fold. And then the very next hand, Ace Jack versus Ace King, they got it in and nut no pair held. But I think that was the big, big hand for David. Not necessarily the Ace Jack versus Ace King, but he knew before the cards even ran out for his tournament fate, he was asking GT, hey, what did you have in the hand? Because he knew that hand kind of determined where he would be at in the tournament. And like I said, he wish he could take that one back and make the call. The tournament goes completely different from there. Okay, so I think they're trying to run something. I think they're getting some things figured out. So We will come right back here in a few minutes, and I'll update you guys on what's going on. Until then, enjoy some nice tunes. Okay, guys. I do want to give you guys a bit of information. I do believe that they're going to chop it. I know that's not what you want to hear. I know you want to watch it play out. So do I. But I do believe that they are chopping it up as we speak. So, I do come here to inform you all that there is a chop happening. As far as what the chop payouts are, once I get to go ahead, I'll let you guys know. But that's going to be it for tournament play. They've agreed to chop it 3 ways, which I necessarily, like I said, I'm with you guys. I want to see it play out. So I'll go, I'll go try to get some numbers, and I will try to get back to you guys with the numbers.
You want me to get the numbers?
Me right now, I'm having the time of my life. Look at this, just burning. Yes. So they did chop. I know PSR. Listen, PSR. I was right there with you. I'm like, no chop, please. But I'm just sitting in a chair. It ain't up to me. The players that are playing for the money, it's up to them. And they agreed to chop 3 ways. So what I'm going to do is I will try to get you guys some numbers. You guys can guesstimate all you want. It probably won't be what you're guessing, but I will come back and report the specifics of that chop. I'll be right back. Boom, I am back. I have information. I have knowledge that I didn't have before I walked away. With the chop, GT Jack is taking home $34,000. That boy wide open. He's going to the house. Take him to the house. So $34,000 for GT Jack. Eddie Marskowski is taking home $30,700.
You want a headset?
And then third place for JD is $18,000. Is that right? Okay, so once again for the chop, listen, I know we will all have opinions about it, and that's fine because this is a free space for you to express your opinions. I'm just going to give you the numbers. GT Jack, $34,000. Eddie Marskowski, $30,700. And JD, $18,000. There you have it. I have no thoughts about the chop. I have no opinion. Yeah, I have no thoughts. Y'all can ask him. He is a chat reg, and he is in the chat all the time. So the next time he's in the chat, you can ask him. Like I said, I knew you all would have opinions. I looked at the numbers. I had my opinion, but that ain't for me to voice. But I will give you the numbers one more time. GT Jack's going to take home $34,000. Eddie Marskowski is going to take home $30,700. And JD is going to take home $18K. That's going to do it for tournament play. There really isn't anything else left to talk about. I would love to sit here and chop it up with you guys all day long, but I know you guys like poker, and, well, the poker side of things is done for the night. So with that being said, that'll probably do it for our September Sizzler $1,500 no-limit hold'em tournament. 3 players chopped it up. They did a great job. Awesome job to all 8 players. Tremendous job to Johnny Pham running the production and taking care of everything. Quick fact, he did the commentary with me and took care of the payouts. He was literally running back and forth. And shout out to Jacob Camacho and Kirk Chewy for dealing, and to our bosses out there, Jesse, Sage, all of you guys. Everybody does just a great job to make all of this work. And we'll see you guys next week on Wednesday. Have a great night. Have a great Sunday. And I'll see you guys later.